Dating hierarchy. Guys. Men, girl, boys. Guys, here we go. Here's the lesson you guys always needed. You guys didn't know you needed, but you need now. This is the totem pole of what we look at in our day-to-day lives. Guys, there's a lot of guys out here. You don't know, but you're a boy. But this is the thing why being as present as possible and understanding where you're at, where you fit at. Now, I get it. We live in a different age because majority of the time these girls want to dry us dry. They want to take our money. They want to do all these different things just for you to end up in a different situation than you were before you met her. But this is why it's so important to understand dating hierarchy. Because no matter how you want to look at it, girls will always be in the middle of it. The reason for it is because at the end of the day, girls can't be on top of the men, and girls will never be below the men. They're always going to be the substance that we need to do the things that we want to do. It may be, you may be in an adventure where you're like, oh, Snap wants to the dinner party, I need my girl, you're always going to need her. But this is where we always mess up, starting at the boys. Boys, why? People will resonate with what I'm trying to say. At the bare bones of what we're at in the dating society, most guys are right here. Why? Because we don't have all the necessary things to live, right? When you're a boy, it sounds crazy, but you may not have all your money right. You may not have your mind right. You may not just have your body right. But what we do is we're actively engaging with the girls. So yes, we get in these dating scenarios and we start thinking like, why does this girl, why does she want so much out of us? You know, why is she asking so much of us? And we're realizing that at the end of the day, we're going upwards to someone that probably won't really appreciate you at the end of the day. That's why the dating mechanism is so messed up, is because we're trying to pursue something and we're seeing that the benefit of pursuing that thing is no longer valid because my time is given up, my mind is given up, my efforts and my efficiency is given up. So we constantly go out to, we go out to the clubs, right? We go to the clubs, right? I don't even know, we'll go out. And you will actively try to pursue these girls, and you always understand what we're trying to do. The reason why a lot of us are stuck right here is because, realistically, when we're actively trying to pursue these girls, bro, they know you're coming from a place that is not upper tier. That's the whole thing about all of this, is because most girls are actively wanting the guys. What are the guys that are up here, the 1%? Girls only date up. They are never going to date down if you don't have it. Now, mind you, guys, you guys are like, oh, I've been dating this girl. You know, the hierarchy of this whole dating thing is that most girls in this dating hierarchy, this dating game that we're playing, are not seeing the benefits of dating somebody that doesn't have their mind right, that doesn't have their body right. They only care about what is the most toxic thing that I can pursue. If they're going for a guy that is right here, the only thing that in their mind that they can see is this guy toxic plus potential? Why? Because toxic plus potential, it equals them to be this. I don't know. I don't really necessarily understand that. When girls look at this and they see, okay, he's toxic and he has potential, okay, it puts him in a 1% because at the end of the day, at least he's confident. At least he won't step back, he won't bite back. But this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Most of the guys don't understand that these girls are actually going for these toxic guys that are down here that don't have their mind, they don't have their money up, they don't have their funds up, they're just doing and living their life. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, why are they always picking the bad guys? Why are they always picking the bad guys? You're never picking the good guys. They're never looking at me, they're never picking. Bro, you're not a girl, they don't need to pick you. Regardless of what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, if you can understand, all right, I'm not going to play the game where I'm saying I'm going to be toxic. But if you know where you stand at, you can reach this higher level of being at 1% if you lock in. Why do you think most guys, most men that you see now that are part of 1%, they have so many girls? Most men will pull a girl up because it benefits him. Why? At the end of the day, most 1% guys that have the cars, right? That have the money, that have the business, right? They structurally are sound. But the reason why we succeed, most men succeed being at this place, is because at the end of the day, men, when they're at that top percent, their abundance is a plethora. But guys that are at the bottom tier will think, well, I have so many options, but you will have to deal with the headache. Do you guys think the 1% of men deal with girls as headaches? Or do you think they will rather just pick a girl that won't be a headache to them and develop and understand that, well, I'm the person that's controlling the situation? But most guys down here will assume that the girl controls the situation. Why? Oh my gosh, coach, it's starting to click. It's starting to click. Guys, you're putting the ball in this girl's hand to manipulate you, to make you weak, to make you soft. Why? Because at the end of the day, no matter how you want to view it, if you're down here and you're trying to reach this girl, if she is not already attracted to you, if she's not being the one that's reaching out to you, regardless of how it looks, you will always be the guy pursuing the girl, and she will literally have the power in the dynamic relationship because you're pursuing her and she's trying to determine the cards that you're playing. if you don't have your money right, if you don't have your mind right, if you don't have your body right, you have no leverage. That's all it is. The only reason men are on top, the 1%, the guys that got it together, the reason why they're always going for the younger girls, because they already have it. Why would I deal with a middle-aged woman if I already have everything I want? I don't have to deal with the baggage. I don't have to deal with X, Y, Z. I get to choose and pick what I want. But you guys will sit here and be like, oh, I get to choose and pick what I want, and go back and forth and recognize you get in a relationship with a girl and she breaks your heart because you pedestalized her and she was the only one for you. You were pursuing it and she wasn't reciprocating. That's why you guys have to understand hierarchy. It is bigger than all of this. Knowing the hierarchy in this whole situation, in the whole dating game, the dating hierarchy is at the end of the day, the girls will always be in the middle. Because regardless of what you want to say, it's always going to be guys pursuing her, and it's always going to be guys being able to pick this one girl out of the batch and bring her up. But girls don't have girls will always believe they have the power over the boys due to the fact that you want me. But remember, girls that want the guys below them, they see this. Which leads to that potentiality is, oh, you're capable of becoming somebody. I can change you, I can help mold you. But guys, don't get confused at all. It's levels to this. If you really want to achieve the status that you really want, to be the guy that has the options, to be the guy that can pick up, that can say, hey, I like you. She has an attitude. Okay, no. Swerve to that. I'm a swerve to that. I'm a swerve. You can do that. But most guys will be out here seeking and wasting their time. You are constantly, if you're below here, and I'm speaking to the majority. If you're a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, anytime once you hit your 20s, if you're not in a situation by your 30s or 35s, and you haven't experienced your first heartbreak and all these different things, you're gonna still be down here, regardless of how it's being put, regardless of what it looks like. You will always be a boy if you haven't experienced the thing that is most internal to most guys' development. That heartbreak is it's the most experimental thing that you need to develop and actually, feel. But regardless of what it is, most guys are here because you don't have your money right, you don't have your mind right, you don't have your body right, and you are not part of the 1%. But when you have all these things in order, you literally become the man that can handle anything and can choose whatever he wants. But don't get this twisted. I'm not talking about all that other stuff that some guys do. Stick with me. It's certain things. But you gotta level yourself up just so you can get over this hump. I know, it sucks. It really does. I think about it now because we think about dating and we really trying to feel like, man, how can I date in this society? I'm like, damn, I'm already here. But you don't have to work. You only have to work on 3 things. That's all you have to work on. I don't know, because girls will always be pretty. There will always be a plethora of them. Girls just need to be pretty. That's all you need to be. No, you think this guy cares about any of the extra stuff that comes with the girls? No, we don't. But at the end of the day, when you start seeing where you're at, you can start recognizing, okay, I'm off about 3 things. Well, if I have no debt and I got my mind, I have my faith right, and then I'm exercising all the time and I'm working, I'm looking good, and at the end of the day, now I can have whatever I want. You start living by this confidence, and now you're pursuing anything. But most guys are at the boy level. So remember this, that the dating hierarchy, it sucks. But regardless of how you feel about it, it is always going to be the girl in the middle, it's going to be the boys at the bottom, and it's going to be the men at the top. And regardless of how you want it, you only have 3 things if you're at the bottom tier that you need. Your money, your mind, and your body. And the options and the flag, get the flag in. Class is closed.